I'm Mark Thomas. I've served on the board for the Special K Foundation for a number of years. And I've met Kitty, and Kitty is a special member of our board in that she is both a board member, but more importantly, she is a parent of a resident of the foundation. So tell us how you and your husband came to learn about and what the ranch means to you.
My husband and I moved up to Billings from Texas in 2000 with our 3 kids, and Paul is my oldest son, and he was born with initially global developmental delays, and then later was diagnosed with pervasive development disorder, not otherwise specified, which is on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
So we came to Billings, and Paul entered into the Billings Public Schools, receiving special education through elementary and all through high school. And as Paul approached his graduation date in 2010, like all parents with kids with developmental disabilities, you wonder what's going to happen to your child once they graduate, because all during school they have so many support systems, activities, counselors, speech therapists, occupational therapists, all this specialized support. What's going to happen once they graduate? Are they going to be able to get a job in the community? Are they going to be able to live on their own? And so as Paul graduated, his school advisor sent all his paperwork into the state of Montana to their disabilities program, and he was authorized services through Montana Disabilities Program. And we were assigned a caseworker at that time who was going to help us find him a job and, different living situations, things. But it was very difficult to find him a job in the community. Jobs were difficult to find, and after a while we were able to put him in Core Enterprises, which is another organization here in Billings who provide day work programs for adults with disabilities. And so he started doing that. But in the meantime, I was over at one of the local hardware stores in Billings, and I saw these fellows with trays of flowers, delivering all these flowers to the hardware store. And I looked over at their delivery van, and it said Special K Ranch.
Wow.
And I said, that looks like an interesting job. I wonder what that is. I've never heard of Special K Ranch. So I started doing some research and called the ranch, and come to find out it was a ranch for adults with developmental disabilities, a working ranch where they live and work. So I set up a tour, and my husband, Paul, and I went out there to the ranch, and we were given a delightful tour by one of the residents, Brett Bevins. And he showed us all around the ranch, told us all about the ranch, and we were just so impressed with what we saw and learned about the ranch that we asked Larry and Mike, can you please put Paul on the list? And if something comes open, can we come do a trial run or trial living experience?
Right.
So that was probably in the summer of 2011. In the fall of 2011, we got an exciting call from Mike Oberg saying, guess what? We have a spot on the ranch for Paul to come do a trial living experience.
Wow.
And so we were so excited and scared at the same time, because, you've taken care of this special needs person all their lives, and he's going to leave home. And so, but it's a trial period to see if he fits in with the ranch and he likes the ranch. And so I guess 9 years later, Paul has thrived out at the ranch. Wow. He has improved in every possible way you could imagine. He has flourished, and the ranch has just been a total package of life, fulfilled life for Paul. And I just wanted to say it covers I've kind of divided it into 3 big areas. Family, life.
And is that home related?
Yes, I'm talking
Okay.
about he lives with a family
Okay.
in a family-style house, a single-family house. He lives with 3 other house brothers, and he lives with a set of caring house parents. And actually, we just got a very nice new house couple with 2 kids that have just arrived, and they are just wonderful already. I can tell they're going to be great. And so they guide them through their daily living activities in the house, where they'll do chores, maybe help cook a meal, do their laundry, help just being a part of that family. So that's the family part. And then the next part of Paul's life out at the ranch is his work. And the ranch has really provided Paul with meaningful work and enjoyable work that he never could find doing these other things that we did before. The vocational staff out at the ranch are fantastic in looking at a resident's abilities and then giving them tasks that they can accomplish and feel good about. And they also rotate them around. They're always on different crews. There's a lot of different jobs out at the ranch. There's the bedding plants, the tomato world. They move out into the garden. They have a huge melon patch now. They have the Champions building with Rescue and Reborn projects, where they take scraps of odds and ends, wood, whatever they have, and make beautiful crafts and sell them. They have service contracts out there where they contract with different companies like Montana Silversmith, and they will do a lot of different packaging for them and a lot of different things like that. They also have a livestock component, which Paul has done some of, but not a lot of. But I think the job that Paul has taken the most pride in is working in the greenhouse with the flowers. Over the years, he has learned probably every name of every plant and flower in that greenhouse. And he can rattle them off, and he goes to Barnes & Noble, he'll buy books about flowers and plants, and so it's really given him a purpose and a pride out there that is amazing, that, you know, it's just a fulfilling thing. He has that component. And the third thing I'd like to say about living out at the ranch, it provides just wonderful socialization. If he were to have stayed at home, he wouldn't have that.
Right.
Every day he interacts with staff, residents out at the ranch. They go into the community, they go to town day, they're running their errands, they're shopping, they're communicating with people. They're delivering plants and flowers all over Montana and their produce to the stores. And it's just, they're constantly immersed in being able to socialize and interact with people, where I don't think they ever would before.
Right.
And one of the house parents that I initially had when Paul first came to the ranch in 2011 said, you know, they are celebrities in Columbus. Everybody knows them. It is amazing. So they are always doing something out at the ranch. They've got parties. The socialization part, it's just not working out there, it's everything. Friendship, picnics, parties, doing special.
We visited the other day, and
Yeah.
you shared that they were out at the park in Columbus, and they were going on a float down the Yellowstone.
that.
So these
Well,
are
that's kinda-
experiences a lot of people in Billings don't get to have.
Exactly. And so, you know, then they came back and had a huge picnic. You know, the list is too long to list all the things,
Sure.
but there's never a dull moment out at the ranch. It's always just fantastic.
So many of you know who Kitty and her husband Paul, who their son is, Paul. Paul sings "God Bless America" at the
Fundraising dinner.
at the dinner. So he is always the first to get up, and with great confidence at the fundraising banquet in September, you'll remember Paul because he stands there and he sings with just such a beautiful voice and confidence. And so when we get back to doing the programs live in the future, you'll know exactly who Paul is.
I cannot believe he can stand up in front of a room of that big crowd and sing that song. And it amazes me. So
Very confident individual.
It's just amazing, the growth and you know, if I can say for all parents and guardians that have residents out on the ranch, that we are really grateful to the staff, to the many volunteers like yourself, helping us manage the financial side of things, and all the volunteers that work out at the ranch, and all of our supporters, because with all those things together, the ranch is what it is today.
Yeah.
And I have really seen the ranch grow since 2011 when we were there to what it is today. It's just grown to such a great organization. I can't
Sure
say no
has.
to that. So.
Tell me what the ranch commitment to your son Paul means to.
Well, I kind of know what you're.
I get emotional.
I know, but
When I think of the commitment that this ranch is making to
Yes, ma'am.
your son,
yes.
and what that means to you and your husband. So share a little bit about what your confidence that the Special K Ranch is in the life of your son.
Well, when we first came, as I was saying, I think there were 6 working houses at the time. I mean, and they were just completing the 7th house, which was the Craig house, which now 8 men live in. And then over the years, I've seen another house open up on the ranch, which tells me the ranch is growing. And I think there were only like 4 or 5 greenhouses. Now there's, I don't know, double that. I see the support that people are providing in the ranch and the caring of the staff, that I see the ranch is gonna, if the endowment continues to grow and everything goes on course like it is, I can see Paul having a home there forever. And that's really what gives my husband and I peace of mind, knowing that Paul's got a home for the rest of his life if he chooses to be there. So
Each one of the residents, family, the resident sisters, brothers, their siblings, and parents know that beyond the lifespan of the parents, that their family member will have a place to live for the rest of their lives. It is a commitment of the ranch. It surpasses the lifespan of family members, and there's a level of confidence in just knowing and a peace that comes with that confidence that I've seen expressed by Kitty and actually other parents
Right.
of residents.
It's so nice for Paul to be semi-independent out at the ranch and just see him thrive out there. It's just, there's no other place like it.
And you've shared he'll come and stay with you for a weekend and looks forward to getting back
Right.
to his friends.
Right. I'm amazed, by the way, well, I'm just going to say my husband and I have been really lucky because we live in Billings. So we have Paul come visit at least one weekend a month, and then, for holidays. And we're close enough that we always get to participate in the ranch activities that they have. If they're out at farmers market, we'll go buy produce from them. And then if they're selling special Olympic raffle tickets, whatever they're doing, little special activities, we'll go be a part of it. So we've been really lucky that we have been able to see Paul a lot, and he transitions very well back and forth. In fact, when he comes home, there's really not a lot for him to do. He looks forward to getting back with his friends, and he's in his routine, and he just goes right back and forth very easily. So it's really, really neat. And I was going to say too, by living here too, we've been able to get to know the staff really well.
Sure.
And have been able to meet all the residents and get to know them really well. And it's just fun to see how much those residents enjoy being out at the ranch. It's just amazing.
Truly is a community. Let me share with you just a couple minutes about what the foundation's vision is. We're familiar with nonprofit organizations and foundations associated with those institutions. And the objective is to continue to grow and get bigger and bigger and expand the footprint. The foundation for the Special K Ranch is very different. The objective is to raise enough funds so that each house and the expenses associated with providing the family parents a salary, health insurance, providing the maintenance that's necessary just to maintain a home. All of these expenses, they run about $50,000 per home. The objective is to raise approximately $1.2 million per house so that that house will be endowed for the future to deliver the promises that the ranch has made to families like Kitty and her husband Paul for their son Paul. There's a lot of expenses beyond that, but the focus of the foundation is really to take care of the facility, to alleviate that burden from the residents and their fees, as well as the income that's earned from selling produce and things like this. And so today, when we think about the ranch, we think about the foundation, and we think about the financial strength of just the daily operations. Special K is in a very healthy financial condition. The other thing is, the foundation has about $5 million. It's raised enough to endow for the homes. There's 8 homes on the property, as Kitty indicated. We want to raise through gifts of land, gifts of illiquid assets, financial gifts, gifts named after a family. We're looking to raise another $5 million to fully endow the 8 homes that are on the property. And as you're also aware, we're looking to build several more homes. And over time, we hope to create. It is our mission to establish an endowment of 14 to 15 million that covers the costs of the residents, like Paul, for the rest of their lives. We want to invite you to give a phone call to the ranch, talk to Steve Adlin. I'm happy to have a conversation and talk about how people's generosity can have a lasting impact through generations out of Special K.